It's good afternoon, Lauren Keegan. Welcome to Yellow Shelf for the first time.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You had a really busy week because your book's out, your latest book, which I have a copy. Congratulations. The
Thank
Woman
you.
in the Seal Skin. Tell us all about it.
So, The Woman in the Sealskin, yes, it's an atmospheric historical novel, and it's set in the Scottish Islands, and it's about this young woman named Malie who's grown up believing her mother was a selkie and left her because she was called back to the sea, and so now she's married, she's expecting her first baby, and her whole life is kind of planned out for her. And she vows to never choose the sea over her family, to never kind of give into the wildness like her mother did. So when her husband and her father and her brothers return from quite a fraught fishing voyage, claiming there's no fish left in the sea, and they're blaming Fin Man and selkies, Marley starts to question the story she's been told, and as violence mounts on the island, she, the safety of her and her baby becomes quite perilous, and she starts to feel the pull to the sea and its power. So it's about this young woman on a wild Scottish island who one day meets her wildness within.
And definitely a blend of like folklore as well as like the depth in characters and stories.
Yes, so I've drawn on the Selkie mythology to explore like
Yeah.
female experience. Yeah,
Yeah. And Lauren, you're like a seasoned author. Do you want to tell us a bit about you? Tell us about your writing, and anything we need to know about you as an author.
sure. Well, that's nice. Seasoned. It's my second book. I don't feel
Well,
seasoned.
I mean, I feel like if you've got at least two, you're back for the next season. So take that how
That's
it is. Yeah.
season two, sure.
Yeah.
I'm my day job is actually as a psychologist,
Mm.
and I work in the perinatal and infant mental health space. And I guess I was kind of drawn to the Selkie mythology initially because so for people who haven't heard about the kind of the old Selkie stories, there's like, this the Selkies kind of wash ashore, they shed their seal skins and take on female form. And some of the stories say that a lonely fisherman kind of stumbles across her and he kind of wants her, so he steals her seal skin so she can't go back to the sea. So they kind of fall in love and they get married and they have children. So there's a little bit of romance to it. But underneath that, there's like she's kind of captive, held captive as well.
Yeah.
And then when she covers her seal skin, she immediately returns to the sea and she leaves behind her grieving husband and children. And for me, in my work, primarily with women, there's something about that kind of story, about that coercion and control and feeling trapped in a life. And also, like, what would it take for a woman to leave behind her whole life to kind of take back her identity and who she is? And thinking about that kind of motherhood as well, and just that kind of sense of the obligation on land
Yeah.
and looking after your home and your children, as well as that kind of pull to maybe something that makes you who you are. And so I was really drawn to that mythology and
Yeah.
really wanted to kind of explore that in my writing, and I really had fun with doing that as well.
Yeah, and it's funny when I was reading it, I knew a little bit about Silkies, but I felt like I wanted to learn more. And
Yeah.
the character Marley, I guess I felt, yeah, I thought a lot about her, like you were explaining, and her journey, and the choices or the lack of choices she makes. So, yeah, I got into the story as I read it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, Lauren, your book is out this week by the time this interview goes out. Do you want to tell us? I know you've got a website. I want to put some links in the show notes to point people in the direction to get curious about your book or your previous work. Point us in the direction of socials that we need to go to.
Sure. So my kind of social of choice is Instagram. So you'll find most of my updates there at Lauren Ryder.
Yeah.
I also have a Substack newsletter and a little podcast there where I interview other therapists who write, and that's called Trust
Oh,
the Process. So you can find that. I think you just look up Lauren Keegan Substack. I will
yeah.
pop up there. And then otherwise, my website, which is laurenkeeganwriter.com, where I'll be updating events and things that I have coming up
Yeah.
over the next few months.
Well, listen, I'm going to put some links into the show notes to make it easy for anyone here. I'll put up the link to Substack as well. I'm
Yeah.
also on Substack, so I can link you in nice and easy. Enjoy what will be, launch, probably crazy busy juggles and lots of enjoyment with the work you've delivered. Are you going to keep writing? Is that the plan?
That is the plan. Yes, I've
Yeah.
already drafted another book, so
Oh,
fingers
wow.
crossed that
Yep.
will see stores in one
Good,
day.
good, good, good. Well, when it does, because it will, please come back and share any future work. I'd love to continue to support you, Lauren. All the best.
Thank you so much for having me, Joe. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.